Situation report, Spanish Front, June 1937. General Stefan. Overall front lines have been consolidated after the initial chaos following royalist surrender. Armored forces have crossed the Tagus River to the north and secured vital railway hubs, now poised to exploit the breaches in the thin Carlist lines in the area with a push towards Madrid to cut off and collapse the southern salient. Meanwhile, in the east, militia have lost Zaragoza, and Cuenca looks to fall soon as well, creating additional urgency to consolidate in the south. Situation report, Bulgarian Front, June 1937. General Vasilevsky. 4th Mechanized has, after a hard fight, taken the port of Constanza, cutting lines of communication for Ottoman and Ukrainian expeditionary forces operating in the north. Unfortunately, regular Romanian troops are unavailable to support, leaving 4th Mechanized severely outnumbered. Careful tactical movements needed to try and reduce the enemy forces in the rear of the main front line. General Casagrande. 34th Mountain have broken out from Thessalonica towards the north, working their way through the rugged terrain to coalesce with 59th Mountain near Skopje. This would collapse the whole western Bulgarian front and open up the road towards victory for the Belgrade Pact. Situation report, American Front, June 1937. General Ungen-Sternberg. After securing El Paso, combined forces push north towards enemy capital of Denver through difficult terrain, with 60th Mountain leading the charge. United States of America under MacArthur are rapidly collapsing, leading to a three-way race to secure favorable front lines for the next phase of the Civil War against the Union and combined syndicates. Overall strategic assessment, Generalfeldmarschall Wrangel. Austrian retreat from Civil War theaters due to internal conflict against Hungarian uprising has significantly weakened enemy forces in the theaters. German troops appear to have vacated the Balkans theater as well, leaving the field to Ottoman divisions instead. Our troops have fought well, but the stalemate has been broken by external strategic events rather than the force provided by Russian soldiers in the European theaters. Army reform is required, and significant improvements in the doctrinal field and divisional structure, as well as serious investments into a capable air force as soon as possible. While the fighting continues, we have enough air XP to to get our first doctrine done, and I am going to go with battlefield support, so close air support is the direction we're going to go with this run, rather than my usual tactical bomber operational integrity that I prefer. We are starting with the 2 fighter doctrine, and that'll give us 15% fighter detection and 5% experience gain. We do have the naval experience, not really going into the naval doctrines just yet. We can do that ad hoc when we need to. But we have multiple theaters that we do need to take, that do require our careful attention, as well as a planning issue. So right now we're working to sponsor progressive literature, which I think was over here, yes, which is going to increase our stability, improve the popularity, and lead to self-defense for democracy, which will actually improve the democratic system overall. So that is an absolute necessity to get this done, because we are suffering from an unstable democracy at this point, and stabilizing that is necessary. At the same time, we do have the looming promise of work, which has 185 days left on it, and we do need to still get through a few. We still need to get through 1, 2, 3, so 105 days worth of development. So these 3 are going to be the next after unfortunately after the progressive literature, and this also requires building of the northern route and upgrading the Vladivostok Railroad, each of which take 120 days, and unfortunately once again take away from our factories available for construction. So these two are required, which means we need as a prerequisite we need 120 days plus the 35 days to make that happen, so 155 days. Which means with a total of 185, we only have 30 days left to make this happen, which means we're not going to have enough political power to start to start switching out from into early mobilization, despite the fact that we do have the war support finally. So unfortunately, we do have to kick these off already to get it over with, and then we will just save up the political power towards early mobilization. So let's get these two kicked off. So just double checking that these were the right ones. Northern Route and Vladivostok. So Northern Route and Vladivostok. All right, so we've got these two underway, which means we should have enough time. I don't see us necessarily to get to 150 factories by then. We should have enough time, and now we just need to get the required political power to make this happen. All right, so much for slowly bringing the homeland under control. We're about to capture Budapest, potentially. Our troops are moving. Just to get some fighting experience, but more importantly, we have the Spanish front. We have also importantly the Balkans front, where the 4th Mechanized is currently defending itself against an Ottoman onslaught. But I don't think the Ottomans will have any chance of getting anywhere. Now the problem is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions, potentially more, in roaming around in the rear of the Romanian front lines, and causing all kinds of havoc. So we only have 1 division, so pushing them back is going to be all manner of fun. I think we'll start by clearing the coastline and then see if we can make our way across towards across the rivers, and then try to retake positions. Force them further back, and see if we can manage to sort of get them concentrated while using the Romanian forces on the main front line as a sort of buffer to avoid them moving any further south. Right. So the next assault, once this one has petered out, is going to be to push these troops back and then start pushing the Ukrainians back. We do have to be careful not to lose the port. So we'll have to move fast if possible. On the American front, we are slowly breaking through in Colorado. So the 4th Virginia militia is still holding the lines in the mountains. It's slow going, but the Union is already coming knocking, and I would like to take Denver before they do. But let's see if we can make that happen. So many necessary movements here, but I think for now, and yes, here we are moving to secure position south of Skopje and cut off enemy troops here, and position ourselves for an attack on Skopje, from which once we have Skopje, I think that is, it's just Sofia left as the supply position for the enemy here. Right, so most critical move at this point, probably the 4th Mechanized in Constanza. So let's slowly progress here. Slowly progress here. I don't think they will be able to cut through because they are starting to lose supply very rapidly. Now, finally, they made contact with the Romanian troops. Oh, and the Romanians have reinforced Constanza. That is ideal. They are making contact with the Romanian troops here, which means that hopefully they will finally start pushing them back as well. They've reinforced Constanza, so we just need to blow them. We just need to blow away the offense here. And it looks like Romanian troops are now finally starting to move to the lines here as well. Bucharest is secured, relatively speaking. And I think that has taken a lot of heat away from us here. That is great. In Spain, we have managed to encircle one of the Spanish divisions there, which means we can probably just exploit our speed here at this point. Enemy counterattack coming in, and I think our tanks need to once again recover some organization first. But we'll see if we can exploit our speed here and take the position towards Toledo before enemy reinforcements get there. But this is good. Spanish lines are consolidated, and in the US we are making progress. So all in all, good things. Okay, we have managed to isolate enemy troops in the south. Let's ensure that they are not getting anywhere, while the 59th is getting ready for an assault towards Skopje for multiple directions. And here we are still defending against the Ottoman attack here, which is given that taking a surprising time, given that the Ottomans are very low on equipment, food, and everything else. Okay, Spain. The troops have positions south of Toledo, so that has happened. In that case, we'll probably rearrange the front lines. Let's see. This is relatively well held at this point, but if we can manage to encircle them south from Toledo, I'm going to leave the troops. I'm going to leave this division here for now, and we'll see if we can take positions around Toledo and move towards Madrid, while the enemy troops here in the south are being wiped out. Okay, that's ongoing. That's one Bulgarian division that is not going to return. Why are we moving there? Stay on target, please, for an assault towards Skopje. So let's shorten the line here. Okay, slightly more organized now. Enemy troops might be moving out of Skopje, to be honest. So if that happens, then yes, they look like they're trying to break out from Skopje and cut off the Greek lines in the rear to save the 30th infantry here. So let's actually start already the assault against Skopje and see if we can take some heat off the Greeks who are holding the lines there. Still waiting for the Ottoman assault here to falter. Has faltered, immediate counterattack, and then we're going after the Ukrainians here once we have pushed the Ottomans out from their positions. And here, we have managed to encircle one of the Bulgarian divisions here, and we'll see if we can destroy it before the Greeks fall on the lines here. But that's that. Spain, they have not managed to destroy that Spanish division there, so we might have to do that ourselves. Okay, we'll move to destroy that single Spanish division. And what's going on at home? Despite Savinkov's fall, some of his promises still resonate. During his presidency, the government showcased grand propaganda campaigns depicting the oppression of Slavic peoples under pro-German governments and corporations. Only interested in extracting maximum profits for Berlin, just like they had done in Russia. According to the Poles, Savinkov's promise to avenge Brest-Litovsk and liberate the German-occupied Western territories still resonate. German-occupied Western territories would be this area here. Yes, we will liberate that for sure. Pro-war publications are citing the heightened tension between the great powers, the temporary weakness of Germany due to the economic crisis, and the growing socialist armies in the West as hopeful signs. Surprisingly, it is something that has found support all across the political spectrum. Even those who are not particularly nationalist-minded agree that Germany is a threat to liberty, socialism, and national self-determination. Others speak of defending the rights of little and white Russians. And the more right you go, the clearer the demands are for a simple revenge and humiliation of Germany and the realization of Russian world power. Well, it's a democracy, so we have a spectrum of ideals. And that gives us actually 5% war support. That is very nice because we didn't need it, but that allows, we're still going to need up to 25 for partial mobilization, but early mobilization is already a big step. So, and it secures that against other potential moves. All right, so we are pushing back the exhausted Ottomans. Then we'll take on Ukraine and see if we can isolate them all the way across the rivers here. And in Spain, yeah, we're moving to destroy that single entrenched division. I am going to potentially try. I was thinking of having another try north of the river towards Madrid, but We might actually be better. We might have a better position here actually. So let's move the troops there. Especially that friendly troops are holding that relatively well. And so once we've destroyed that Carlist division here, then we can try to make a push along the lines here towards Madrid. Cuenca has not fallen, but we have retaken Zaragoza. That's huge. Must have been the 23rd Indian Rifles that have managed to do that, and obviously with the assistance of our Air Force, because we have. There are some enemy fighters in the area. Same goes for the southern air zone here. But we'll be fighting outside the southern air zone soon. So I am going to return do we have another airport here? No. I'm going to return the fighters and focus on Eastern Iberian to give our bombers, because our bombers are getting disrupted by enemy fighter planes quite a bit. So we're going to give our bombers a bit of support. And back to where we are here. We do need to eradicate that encircled division before the Greeks fall. So let's make that happen. These troops are moving, and in the Americas, we are going to, the Mountaineers are leading the charge. We are going to try and exploit the speed with which they can move to make a dash towards Denver. The problem obviously being the railway lines, because we're going to need the supply up here as well. But that's another nut to crack. So the other two divisions can secure the rear, and then we'll see how we take it from there. We can probably then start enacting encirclements and destroying the American troops that are holding back the lines in the central regions, and move further north from there. But to consolidate Denver would be a great prize to take. All right, this can be left alone, so let's keep an eye on the situation in the Balkans, where we are now crashing into the Ukrainians, and they are relatively well dug in here, and 17% entrenchment. But in open plains, I think our tanks might be able to take them. The problem is obviously that the tank division will eventually become exhausted, but we're now having they've at least are defending Chisinau, so hopefully, and Galati is actually that might actually be an opportunity. I think we'd cross the river. New plan, since they're defending Constanza. We'll cross the river and try to destroy the encircled six Bulgarian that we can cut off that way, and we'll just try to reduce them in that manner. Attack here is progressing, and I don't think they'll have much of a chance. And in Spain, we have engaged the encircled Spanish troops, so that should not be a huge problem. And the tanks are on the way towards. In fact, we can probably already support that push and see if we can just drive to Madrid from there, because the French are engaged in the south as well, so this is going relatively well. The Greek are, by the looks of it, actually vacating the front lines here. That is less than ideal. So we do need to get a move on, otherwise the 30th Bulgarian can escape. But let's keep an eye here and see if we make it across. All right. Peru-Bolivian Confederation declared war on Ecuador. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. Basic armor protection is done. Do we have any industrial tech that we can start? We do have some construction research. Everything else is pretty much ahead of time. This is still very much ahead of time. We're clearing up the research here. We are up to date with tanks, which means we're actually doing a reasonable job here of being up to date, which we can probably get the armored trains going, because we need to start looking into railway guns. All right, let's make that happening, and we'll use one of the organizations. All right, the attack on Budapest is faltering a bit because we are very much out of supply, so let's stop that. How's the supply situation here in general? terrible, which is probably down to us not using ideal distributions methods. But I think what we'll do is we'll simply relocate south and then attack Budapest from there, rather than having to try and cross the river when we're already exhausted. Waste of troops and material. All right, Peru-Bolivian Confederation declared war on Ecuador. Let's see. So the Peru-Bolivian Confederation is not syndicalist, and neither is Ecuador. So honestly, this is this something we want to get involved in? Now, one thing is interesting would be Argentina, because we might, if the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, say that 3 times in a row, Peru-Bolivian Confederation manages to take Ecuador, that would position them potentially stronger against Argentina if they end up getting involved in Argentina. And Argentina is an important trading partner for Germany. So there is an interest here for us, but honestly, we have enough fronts at this point. And I don't think we have any further divisions that we can even deploy on that. No, we still have a mountain division. We could send that to the Peru-Bolivian, but then again, we don't know if they are, in which direction they're going to go, if they are going to go up against Argentina. So it would be a very premature deployment. That said, Ecuador, yeah, we're not necessarily, they are market liberals, so ideologically, we would be more on the side of Ecuador here. But what do we know about their army? Yeah, they've got about 5 divisions. Okay, they're going to fall before we even get there. So let's not get involved. All right, how's China looking? Actually, it's not at war at this point, interestingly enough, and so far nothing's really been going on in the sort of underbelly here, where things have been rumbling. So let's get back. Okay, that means we can get back to taking Galati and then attacking the encircled division here, which is already starving. So even if they retake the position across the river, that would be unfortunate because that means we can't destroy it. But I think the Romanians have realized that there is a second front line and are now supporting it. We're taking a while to dig out these last Bulgarian defenders here, despite the fact that they are very much out of supply. They're very much encircled, but we are out of supply as well. So it's a harsh fight here in the mountains, and we're trying to now prevent the Serbian troops here from being obliterated and the lines from falling. Meanwhile, in Spain, we've destroyed that division, which means we can support the push from here, and move towards Toledo, Madrid, collapse that front line, and then I think with Zaragoza, interesting, Cuenca has held, and Zaragoza is back in friendly hands. So I think they are about to unravel here in the line. In the Americas, we are facing troops. Okay, let's focus on the defense then. We are facing an enemy attack from the 1st Georgia National Guard. Let's see if we can get the Mountaineers to move towards Denver, and we'll take one of the other infantry divisions to simply follow along. And we'll get the 8th Guards to take on the 2nd Idaho and keep them in place while the other troops are moving through towards Denver. Okay, that's on the way. The Romanians have reinforced the lines. We're getting on with destroying that single Bulgarian division, and they have no way to get out. So two Ottoman divisions, and I think one Ukrainian division and one Bulgarian division there are going to fall. Serbians still holding despite ferocious counterattacks. We're now getting some support from some Greek troops here as well, and we're stopping the Bulgarians and potentially breaking through towards Skopje, so that would be great. Tanks are making advances in Spain towards Toledo, so that's good. We'll keep an eye if these troops manage to break out by pushing the Serbians back, which we currently can't hold in place, or if the Serbians can hold the lines here until we have destroyed that. And I think there's some Greek reinforcements coming in. We have taken Skopje, so Skopje has fallen, which means supply should be provided to the region relatively soon. And from here on out, we'll try to hold the Bulgarians in place here, such that the 30th Division here is not going to manage to escape. Working on reducing that encircled Bulgarian division here, and breaking. Yeah, we're using the momentum. They have actually reached the south here already. So I think we'll use the momentum to try and breach the river in two positions, manage to take Toledo, and then work our way towards Madrid. How's the overall Spanish Civil War? So Carlist Spain is still very much in control, but I think we're starting to make massive gains here. And with that, how's the air situation now? Southern air zone, still enemy fighters up in the air, probably from Madrid, but we're no longer fighting in that zone, so that zone is under control. Eastern Iberian air zone, our fighters in the air, which means our bombers are getting through now, which has probably contributed to the retaking of Zaragoza and to the overall consolidation of the front lines. Air power is just that important. What do we got? We are... which one is warning here? Events or decisions timing out. Land reform, 59 days. Oh, land reform, yes, land reforms are still in progress. We'll see what comes out of that. I have absolutely no idea, because it's just been one of those internal events that depends on the decisions we've made. So we've made the decisions in good conscience, which means we should be all right. Okay, can we hold back the 18th while the other mountain division manages to destroy that encircled Bulgarian? I think we can with a desperate push out of Skopje, and then we'll just have to dig in for a potential counterattack. The armored division, okay, enough Romanian divisions are now moving north to secure the lines, which means we have absolutely stabilized the front lines, and we can now go onto a major offensive once we've reduced this. So that is under control. In the Americas, we're pushing back the 2nd Idaho, and I think we are about to take Denver. Now the problem here is that we don't have a railway line connection from Denver, so we're actually going to have to make a concentrated assault, and for that I'm already going to reduce the front lines here. We're going to make a concentrated assault, like this, and the concentrated assault here to clear the lines. So let's get 3 divisions onto that offensive. You keep moving, and you keep moving. And once Denver is taken, then we're already reorienting south to clear the positions here, connect the railway lines towards Denver, and then we can move north from there before the Union gets to it. All right, Spain. We're using the momentum to try and force the bridges. This is less than ideal, but the enemy divisions are exhausted. We don't want to give them time to dig in. Now this push here might fail, but we do have some support. And Madrid is already under threat here, and I think the French 6th Armored is now having open terrain to further collapse the lines here. Enemy divisions that are there are a few enemy divisions still with support from foreign nations, but not by far as many as they used to be. All right. Can we destroy this division here? I think we can, which means we can then stop the. There we go. We can then stop the assault from Skopje, and now we can position for the next offensive. Really. Now let's see where we are. Well, it's going to have to be towards Sofia, and that should hopefully end the war actually. So let's get the. Let's get new front lines going. We want to position one division here to push towards Sofia, and we'll get the other mountain division to support this from the south, and we'll position them there, and also with the goal of taking Sofia. Tanks are proceeding to reduce that division, which is great. And in the Americas, I think we are good to go as well. So once we've taken Denver, then we can start pivoting south. Pacific conscripts have been fighting long, difficult skirmishes with the federal government across the Rockies. Well, mostly supported by or led by Russian regulars. Today, the efforts came to a close as they finally descended on the city of Denver after a large-scale assault across the South Platte River. Denver being the capital of Colorado and the main federal stronghold in the Great Plains. The fall of the Queen City of the Plains indeed seems to be a major upset for the future of the United States, and as fighting dies down in the South Platte Valley, many experts agree that the federal government is now almost certain to come to terms with the Pacific states. Yeah, I think the federal government is going to have much bigger problems than us, honestly. Immediate counterattack towards Denver. But we can now begin, and we're going to need to swap the troops actually. But we can now begin the. Let's see. These troops should actually not have supply anymore. We can now begin the operations to get the railway lines under control. So we need these two positions here, which means we're going to abort the offensive there. And I don't think we can wait for this, honestly. So, but I would like, these are two divisions dug in the mountain. We've got the 4th Virginia Militia, and we've got a U.S. Border Patrol dug in the mountains south of Denver. It'd be ideal to have the 60th Mountain available for this kind of thing, but let's begin the assault and see if we can actually push them out with regular infantry from there. In Spain, we have managed to cross the river north against immediate Spanish counterattacks, and we might even be able to take Toledo from here. So Madrid, for the fall of Madrid, is just a matter of time at this point, and then we can. The French are moving south by the looks of it. The French being the French. Here we are almost done destroying this encircled division, and then I think the tank divisions can join the fight against the Ukrainians here. There we go. Move on. But we'll need to get our organization back. We need to reform this division and then get ready for the push against the Ukrainians. So not an awful lot right now happening in this theater, which means how are we actually in? Okay, we actually can launch another assault on Budapest from here. Let's see if we can manage to take the enemy capital. That would be a little bit of an embarrassment. In Spain, still fighting going on. In the Americas, we are starting to struggle against the defenders here, but we are getting additional reinforcements from the Pacific states. So we'll keep the pressure on, and we will see if we can manage to dig them out from their mountain strongholds here. They still have probably supply through San Antonio in the south in some manner, but holding Denver is massive. So that was an important achievement. From here, we can even push further north towards Cheyenne, and then there's an awful lot of nothing. So we're probably going to probably going to just take the supply along the lines here, wherever possible. So consolidation north towards the Canadian border. Okay, Spain. Okay, stop the assault here. Start moving the tank divisions north, and then we will push. We will make a concentrated push once both tank divisions are restored. Do we have supply in the area? We should have supply from here. It shouldn't be too bad. Where have the French gone? Okay, they've moved. No, they actually made themselves useful. They've just moved to plug in a gap. There's a railway gun operating here in the enemy area near Madrid as well. So definitely a concentrated push towards Madrid is going to be the next operation. So let's get the tank divisions situated for that. And armor has arrived. We're just waiting for our organization to recover, and then we'll join the fight against the Ukrainians here to encircle and destroy. Mountain divisions are positioning for a potential attack against Sofia. We can probably already begin the operation in the north. Yeah, let's begin the operation in the north towards Sofia. We can. I don't think we need to wait, because we can just support the friendly troops launch that assault. Both tank divisions are ready now for an assault against Toledo. I thought we held Toledo already, but it must have been a close one. So both tank divisions are currently organizing themselves as much as possible. No enemy troops near Denver, so we might risk it to move north towards Cheyenne, but I think the risk is too great that we'll just get cut off without support. So we'll finish the fight in Denver. We've got friendly troops joining in, so I think we'll be able to do this. And no enemy troops in sight here. What we could do is try to consolidate the lines a bit, but yeah, we'll keep the mountaineers in Denver. It's less than ideal, but we'd have to shuffle the troops around otherwise. So we'll leave that as is. These divisions are getting ready for the next attack. And we have completed the 152 millimeter field artillery, 1937. Okay, that is something we need to change the production lines for. But first of all, let's see what's up next for research here. Can start with the range improvements, honestly, for air. Now here it's going to get really interesting. We've got a lot of air designers. Let's see, which one are we actually using for production? Fighter designer, we're using the Dux and the also Avia for CAS. So range extensions. It's this one, aerial supremacy designer. I think that's going to be my primary focus. So let's get that going. Because especially early on, aircraft are going to be terrible in terms of their range. So we'll give them a little bit more time to recover, and then we'll start the assault on Toledo and Madrid. Here we're breaking through towards Sofia. I don't think they can stop us. And here we can join the fight to push the Ukrainians out, and then destroy the last remaining encircled divisions there. In the Americas, we are working towards... okay, they've massively reinforced. All right, stop that. Stop that for now. Just consolidate the lines. Wait for the counterattack to falter. These troops are not having supply there. So after we've taken the capital, so just consolidate the front lines for now, and see if we can secure a few positions here before we make any further movements. So we'll consolidate around Denver at this point. Breaking out north would be too risky because there are enemy divisions underway. Surprisingly, a clandestine military meeting took place in Petrograd today, which would have been more in place in 1915 than in 1937. A joint Franco-British military delegation met with General Field Marshal Piotr Wrangel today in surprisingly positive terms. The delegation was under the leadership of General Georges Castrou, with Charles Delestrin as his deputy and Edmund Ironside leading the representation of the British military. one could almost forget about the ideological disagreements of their respective governments as they laid out a strategic plan for the destruction of Germany in a calm, professional manner. Both sides withheld information, no doubt thinking about the possible future conflict if they managed to destroy Germany, but were open enough to agree on sharing relevant military intel and some other matters that would make cooperation easier. After all, both of them shared a simple greater goal, the destruction of the German Empire and avenging the peace of 1919. And for these military men, it was a greater cause than any ideology. Okay, the Entente Cordiale is back. Yes, indeed. This is not literally like I said, this is not an ideological fight. And obviously the Third International is about as compatible with the democratic Russia as the Soviet Union was with the Western Allies. But when it comes to destroying Germany, and then you leave the lines somewhere around here-ish afterwards, and with a little zone over there, that's where we secure everything. All right, anyway, moving on. Still actually assaulting Budapest here, but Hungary is about to fall, so there's not an awful lot going on to happen there. And we have taken Sofia, so that has happened, which means they've still moved their capital, so we'll defend there for now. But that should secure the supply positions here quite significantly, which means we can also move the front lines accordingly. And once that's connected, then we can probably, given that there's a mountain divisions, we can probably collapse the southern front lines, just moving along the supply, and see if we can destroy the whole southern sector here. So that's going to be the next strategic alignment. Let's give them front lines already so they can begin planning. So the goal would be here to cut off enemy troops around this line of attack, and we can keep both positioned here. So that would be ideal. There we are moving forward. In the States, we are defending mostly, just consolidating front lines. Large American concentration here, which is understandable. This is an absolute vital position for everybody to hold. So unfortunately, we also don't want the Union to take it. So that's going to be a major point. Once the Pacific states have reinforced Denver, then we can pull the troops back for a more concentrated assault. And here we are, I think, as ready as we're ever going to be. So let's go to Madrid and see if we can support this fight here under enemy bombardment. Nevertheless, okay. So tanks are starting to come in. We are a bit short on supply, but we will see if we can break through. Which air zone are we fighting in? This is the Western Iberian air zone. I think we can. Do we have an airport in range? We do not. All the airports are in the south. Yeah, we can bring another air wing in, actually. By the way, so we might as well transfer. What do we have available? We should have another. We have another fighter wing with close air support wing, so we may as well bring that over. But I don't think they'll have range for anything, honestly. Once we've taken Madrid, probably they'll be useful. So let's bring them over and already start working in Eastern Iberia. But we have to take the airbase. There should be an airbase here somewhere. Not marked, so we don't have intelligence just yet. We'll try to make it on the ground, push through Toledo towards Madrid, and here we are securing the lines, and then we will start. Once everything has consolidated, we can start moving to surround. Alternatively, we could try to break out north. That might actually be even the better option. If we get these two divisions to use our momentum against the 27th. And try to collapse the northern front. Yeah, why not? Let's see if we can make that happen. So we'll get both divisions, please, involved in this. But I think we can just consolidate our gains here. And yes, we have actually managed to destroy all the encircled divisions here, which means the tanks can now be employed for a push towards the enemy capital of Varna. Let's get the armored division south towards Constanza and then move into Varna. In the Americas, we have expanded our lines a little bit, but we are going to need additional troops here. Friendly troops are coming in though, so I think we'll manage, and then we can I think, okay, we'll hold on. These troops are actually moving out, so I think we can we'll hold on for now, but then we'll concentrate for an assault south here towards this position once Denver is properly supported. Counterattacks in the north, trying to save Toledo for obvious reasons. We shall push on, and we are making the break here east of Sofia quite successfully. How's it looking? We still haven't taken Budapest, but we're getting relatively close. There's only one Hungarian cavalry bravely defending the capital, but that's not going to get them anywhere. 45 days for the land reform, and we have still not enough. A promise of work 160 days. So this should all still work out. We're almost done with this, and then things will progress. All right, not much to see here. I think the more interesting theater is going to be the Toledo one, actually. Although the furious counterattacks from the north are getting beaten back, but it does mean that our tanks are fighting a bit of the edge of their operational range, and they have to defend against counterattacks in the north. The price of bread. As the French can attest, cake is not a suitable supplement. The poor rural folk of Ivanovo have petitioned the Tsar to lower the prices of bread. Many people there, having lost jobs to customers, are now barely making ends meet and have revived the age-old custom of direct appeal to the Tsar. The letter is polite and humble, beginning with prayers for the imperial family's health, and would be more in place in the past century. Sensing a chance for positive visibility, Kirill I brought the matter up with the chairman minister and the minister of finance, demanding to know what actions the government is taking to ease the plight of the common folk. He also suggested the government specifically focus on making basic foodstuffs cheaper. Just before the Minister of Economy was about to start with, "But Your Imperial Majesty, we simply cannot," he was cut short. Chairman Minister Nikolai Nekrasov understood the implications here. Regardless of whether the Tsar was thinking of his own popularity or was genuinely sympathetic to the plight of the people, hungry people are what breeds revolutions. Government price caps on grain would not be popular everywhere, but they would help the poorest people of Russia. So we have several options. We can get His Imperial Majesty to ensure cheap bread, which gives us 5% stability, but costs us 50 political power. This game, I tell you, this is honestly probably the longest I've been fighting on civilian economy in any run that I've done so far. It just doesn't want me to move. I just can't get the political power to go. It's crazy. Okay, so 5% stability for 50 power, 7%. So we can get the government to ensure cheap bread, which costs 50 political power and gets a 7% market liberalism popularity, which would be good. But we are already getting 6% market liberalism from the sponsorment of progressive literature, which gets us over the 30% that we can get to address the people, which gives us 10% base stability and all the other stuff. So the government's out. We can, of course, follow the market liberal general ideal and say this kind of market meddling is self-defeating, which still gives us 2.5% market liberalism, but feels like a missed opportunity to get 5% base stability. So stability obviously does affect, or the lack thereof, does affect the political power gain. So none of this is ideal. And we've still also got this going on. Kazakh unrest is still at 0. But we'll see what happens there. I'm tempted to get the 5% base stability, but the 50 political power is really hurting, because we are just not getting through anywhere with the construction at this point. We're still at 57 civilian factories. Where are the Germans at this point? Civilian industry. Yeah, they are massively higher than us. So we need to focus on the industry. But it's too good to give up, really. 5% base stability. All right, I'll take it. His Imperial Majesty will ensure cheap bread. We are going to implement price caps, and how do we? Apologies, I am really torn because this is costing me 20% construction speed and 5% civilian consumer goods. So this is really bad. No, I think we're going with the market liberal approach here. I just can't spare the 50 political power at this point. 2.5% market liberalism is still good. And hopefully we can improve things quickly enough that the people won't suffer too much. Land reform is still underway. Promise of work is still coming. These are underway, and we're almost done with the sponsorment of the literature. So that's good. Okay. Would have loved to take it, but I really need the political power at this point. All right. What are we looking at right now? We are still moving through the mountains in the east. Attack on Dobrich, where the tanks are taking on the 7th Rifles. But I think from there we should probably be able to just push through to Varna. So not an awful lot going on there. Keep an eye on the Americas. Okay, Denver has been reinforced. Good. So we can now shorten the front lines south. Immediately concentrate all the troops here for an assault against the enemy positions here. I could get one division to support from the north, just so we have the combat width. What do we have here? That's 24, 21. Yeah, we're not gonna 42. We're not probably going to get. We only have a combat width of 50, so we're probably going to need an additional division north. So we'll leave one division here and get the other two south here to run the main assault on the enemy position, and we get one river crossing support in the north. Right, that's happening. Spain still running the attack on Toledo against fierce counterattacks from the north, but they are getting pushed back, and I think we're breaking through, and I think Madrid is open. So we'll leave. Yes, we have taken Madrid. So with taking Madrid, we can now forward deploy. We should have control of the airport soon. We can now actually. We don't want to get cut off here though. We have moved ahead a little bit. We've gotten ahead a bit of ourselves here, but we now have potentially an opportunity to leave one division in Madrid and encircle a fair few in the south. So let's see if we can make that happen. Meanwhile, we are making breakthroughs near Sofia, but I think we are. I think we're going to need to. Yeah, we're going to need to defend here for now, because there are ample reinforcements coming, and we don't have. There's another French armored division which isn't doing an awful lot. I think we're holding position here for now. Budapest is about to fall, so we're about to break through there. And in the Americas, yeah, troops moving into position. Lines actually clear north of Denver. So if the friendly troops want to advance towards Cheyenne, that would be good. But Budapest has fallen. With that, Hungary has capitulated. Hungary has announced its total surrender to the Austrian Empire. The Austrian forces, along with a number of independent Hungarian social conservative supporters, have forced Zlatan Tildy and his government into exile, as a new government has been established to rule Hungary in cooperation with the Austrian Empire. Karl I has remarked that this mutual agreement will bring a new age of prosperity and cooperation to Hungary. Zlatan Tildy responded by stating that even in exile he shall continue to fight for Hungary and support all resistance efforts in his homeland. Uncertain times. We did offer the Hungarians our support, but they refused, which, well, did not end up well for them. All right, we're defending here east of Sofia for now. We have to... Okay, we're getting counter-attacked here near Madrid. So I think we will have to... I think we'll consolidate the lines by pushing out the divisions north, where they are sitting in mountains here. There's currently nothing else that can really threaten Madrid. Friendly troops are probably going to move in as well. Zaragoza has fallen into enemy hands again, so things not going as well on the Eastern Front. We're still actually supporting the... we're still supporting... Can we? Yeah, we can now could now move to Madrid with our forces, which I think we're going to get at least the close air wing into Madrid and focus on the Western Iberian air zone to give the tanks some cover, while the longer range planes are going to work. Any fighters up in the air? No. So we should be able to operate freely here. Let's see if we can manage to hold here against the enemy onslaught. So we'll just defend here for now. Consistent enemy onslaught, but these divisions now have been encircled. So friendly troops have moved, cut them off in the south. 4 divisions encircled is huge. So I think we'll work on reducing that at first. Here we are sort of stable. So I think we'll try to make another move out and see if we can take Plaven. Dobrich is still holding against the armored attack that we're running here, but I think Bulgaria is getting close to falling, honestly. And that brings us to the US, where we are still waiting for the Mountain Division to reach their goal. Okay, both divisions here, so we can join the fight into that established position here. We still don't actually have enough of a... Okay, we don't have enough of a combat width here to get everybody involved, because there are a few of the Northern California National Guard involved here as well, which don't really contribute an awful lot. But we will see. We shall see. Alternatively, we could try... I'm almost tempted. We could try to send 1 division north towards Cheyenne already and secure the territory there just before the enemy gets there. I think that's probably worth it. We'll send the second. This is not contributing an awful lot, so we'll move ahead towards Cheyenne. That does not change the overall combat width, simply because we've already got friendly troops involved from all directions anyway. So in that case, we may as well use 1 division to move north. In Spain, they have unfortunately managed to break out, so we're going to have to reconnect that encirclement to prevent any enemy troops from escaping. In here we have managed to progress, and Plaven looks like it might be getting abandoned here, so we'll keep an eye on that. Tanks still haven't broken through to Dobrich. And we're still a few days away from the sponsorment of progressive literature. So I'd say all in all, we've made some progress here. Madrid has fallen. We are working to try to contain the encircled Spanish troops. They have consolidated around Zaragoza, because friendly troops are completely abandoning the north. So friendly militia is completely abandoning the northern lines here, which is less than ideal. So we urgently need to reduce. The enemy troops here, and see that we can get this encirclement closed again. So let's already begin the assault here. Now we'll see that we can support that from here. Actually, move north and see that we contain this. And then we'll probably lose the northeast. We might be losing Barcelona, honestly, simply because of the disorganized state of the militia. So that fight is still very much ongoing. Pleven has not been evacuated, so we'll just hold the lines here. Tanks are still not in Dobruja, and the fight near Denver is ongoing. So many more tasks to do here. Many more. Are we going to get through these eventually? Maybe. Many more lines to capture, but hopefully soon we can get the political power to get out of the civilian economy and begin construction in earnest, while consolidating the Russian democracy. All of that to come in the next episode.